We only sprinted twice a week, and every single athlete walked away faster. I'm talking about hands down the most successful offseason that I've ever had with a group of athletes. We didn't just see good numbers, we saw game-changing speed, better movement, and most importantly, zero injuries. And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't necessarily about doing more, it was about doing the right things with purpose. We didn't start with programming, but we did start with a profile. So before I did anything, I let the athlete sprint and I watched them and observed, and I asked myself, how does this athlete produce speed? What's their X factor? So what's the thing that makes them fast? So I tested their splits, 10s and 20s, jump outputs, unilateral strength, mobility, and I used that data to classify their sprint strategy. Basically, where is their bias? Are they more ground dominant, more air dominant? They rely more on step frequency or step length. It basically gave me a map, and the rest of the program was built from there. If you're not profiling, you're really just kind of guessing. And next, I wanted to make sure that the athletes had the physical tools that they needed. So first, the capacity that they need, and then the physical tools that would actually transfer over to sprinting and our on-field stuff. Hip extension was huge, both in range and output. So I wanted to make sure that the athletes had the range of motion that we needed, but also that that range of motion was controllable. Extension output side, one of the biggest things was rate of force development. Foot and ankle strength was a staple. So every single time that we walked into the weight room, which was 3 days a week, we did something for the foot and ankle. So wherever it was possible, our strength work was through big ranges of motion. I wanted to make sure that we could control those ranges of motion, but I also wanted to make sure that we were strong in all of those ranges of motion. Everything that we did in the gym was chosen based on how directly it transferred to sprinting. So that way it kept us from wasting time and it paid off. So we also didn't just lift and hope that it showed up on the field. And this is a big one. We had to make sure that we connected the things that we did in the gym with the things that we did on the field. We used things like resisted sprints, loaded specifically based on their profile and their strategy. Sprint complexes, so going from a resisted sprint to a free sprint, for example, in the same session. Jump variations tailored to movement quality and coordination, and then progressions from constraints to full speed competition. And here's where it all came together. I let sprinting be the main driver for adaptation. I really had to audit and evaluate my coaching. When do I coach? How do I coach? When do I cue? What things do I say? When do I decide to just let the athlete work? So I really took out all excessive coaching and all excessive cueing, and just let sprinting be the thing that drives our adaptation. So just 2 high quality sprint sessions a week with intent, video feedback where possible, and enough room for the athletes to actually explore their own movement. They started self-organizing. They were more aggressive with ground contacts. We saw higher speeds. So without me having to break it all down verbally. Sometimes less is more when the exposure is right. So here are the highlights. Just 2 sprint sessions a week, on average a 5 km/h increase in speed, and no injuries through 4 key shifts. Profile the athlete, train what transfers, bridge your gym work to sprinting, and let sprinting do the work.